Welcome to the All
Inclusive Podcast.
And I'm your host, Shy.
And I am Gentle, aka the Overseer, BKA the best to ever do it. What's up, y'all?
What's up? What's up? What's up? And we are here with some special guests today. We have our topic, which is spirituality and sexuality.
Yes.
Okay. So our guests are a mother and daughter duo, Trish and Trishelle.
Hello, y'all.
Hello,
How y'all doing
hello,
today?
hello.
Hello. Thank you so much for having us on the All Inclusive Podcast.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being here. Thank you for being here. And just so we can differentiate who is Trish and Trishelle. So, Miss Trish, is it okay if I say Miss?
No, absolutely not.
All right, I ain't gonna make you feel old. You feel me? So, Trish,
Yes.
could you give us a little intro? Tell us about yourself. I know that's broad, but
Okay, so I am Trisha, and I am a mother of 3 children, 20, 18, and 16.
Okay.
I love to run, I love to read, and I'm a sign language interpreter.
oh wow, that's awesome. Thank you for that intro. All right, cool. Trishelle, you want to tell us? You know what I'm saying? Something about tell the people. You feel me about yourself?
Okay.
My name is Trishelle. I'm a student currently. I graduated high school, but I go to community college, Hack. I start my semester again in the fall. Right now, I'm working at Dollar Tree. Today was actually my last day, so I'm not working there anymore. I'm
Cool.
going over. Yeah, it's not
Bigger and better.
though.
Yeah.
Going over to Walmart. So
Cool. Bigger and
work
better
there.
things. You feel
That's what
me?
I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your major?
Right now, it's just general studies, but my mom is definitely pushing for me to become a physical therapist, and I think it's pretty interesting, that kind of profession. So I might
Definitely.
dig in deeper to that one.
Okay.
Cool. I remember them days, them college days. Keep it.
Figure out what you want, right?
Yeah, keep going. I changed my major at least 10 times.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Yeah, I changed my major 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
But you have 2 degrees, right?
I do. So my bachelor's is in history. So I got a bachelor's of arts in history from the great Morgan State University. Okay, graduated from there in 2016. And then my master's is in library and information studies from the University of Oklahoma. Sooners. Let's go.
I love that.
But I'm never going back to school again.
That's fair.
Ever.
So, we're gonna start with a temperature check. Okay. Cuz, how you doing today?
Hot, cold, lukewarm. I got some I don't know. I got some lukewarm this week.
Okay.
A lot of stuff going on. It's rainy outside. It's icky. You know, I just been wanting to lay in a bed with my lady and watch movies, but that's not real life, you know? So
Yeah.
I had to go out, work a little bit, do some stuff.
Make
but you
that
know,
money.
get to the bag. But yeah, so I'm lukewarm, but I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to be here with our very special guest. And of course, I'm always happy to be here with
Of
you.
course, of course, of course. Listen, I'm feeling kind of lukewarm because this episode is like really, really special to us collectively. Today we are actually dedicating the episode to Gentle's mom, my auntie. She transitioned on the 16th of April of this year, and she was a great influence in both of our lives. I mean, like, obviously her mom, but literally like a second mom to me. And we love you, we miss you, but we are continuing to make sure that your life was not in vain. And you know, we just going to dedicate the episode to her.
Yeah. If we could take a moment of silence, just, you know, a couple seconds for my mom. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you for that, y'all. Definitely miss my mother a whole lot, you know, very special person. Like you said, in both our lives, and just impactful to so many people.
Ooh.
And it was a great loss. Of course, when you lose a parent, it's always, you know, a lot. But yeah, so we dedicating this to her. You know, We definitely going to put on a show for her because she would be so proud of us right now.
Yes, yes.
You know, actually starting the podcast, doing what we said we was going to do. She was actually going to be our guest
Yes,
for
today.
this episode, but unfortunately, she's not here with us in the physical, but she is here with us in
In the
spirit.
spirit.
So
Yes.
appreciate
Absolutely.
the dedication, cause
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to do a temperature check with our guests. We're going to start with Trishelle. How are you feeling? Hot, cold, lukewarm?
Um, I'm feeling pretty hot right now. It's definitely good. I'm happy that I got out the house today. Because normally when I get off of work, I just stay in the house, social media, and I just waste my hours away. So I'm definitely very happy that I decided to do something else, instead of the normal. And it's really good seeing you again, very much.
Definitely,
It's
definitely.
been a nice minute. Yeah, today being my last day at work, that was definitely good because I'm sick of Dollar Tree. I really don't like it there, so it's a good feeling not having to go back.
yeah.
Yes.
I had fun with my mom on a little car ride. She always makes me laugh. It was really nice. It's a good day so far.
Good, good,
Cool,
good.
cool,
Great.
cool. That's awesome. Trish,
So first, I want to express my condolences to you
Thanks.
guys on your loss, and I think I'm a little lukewarm as well. My cycle's on her way, so the
Flo.
weather, the pimple. So but it's all good. I can't relate to having to go to work because I do have the summers off.
oh, cool, cool.
So I can't complain about that. But
Hot girl summer.
yeah.
Okay.
I remember having the summers off. That was nice because education, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's that last day of school when that bell ring and
Oh
them
my
kids
God.
leave. It's like,
Yes.
peace, y'all. I'm
That's
out.
TK.
Do not call me. Do not beat me if you want to reach me.
I will
Not at
see you
all.
in August. That's
Definitely.
it. But overall, I'm doing well.
Yeah, that's
Good,
what's up.
good, good, good.
Thank you,
good.
thank you for checking in
Absolutely.
and letting us know your temperature check. So, real quick, cuz what's the how we gonna kick it off for this episode?
So, we're gonna kick it off in a way that is a little different from how we usually do it. Like usually we're like so fun loving and stuff like that, but this is a serious conversation
Definitely.
that and much needed conversation that we have to have. I actually, little background, I met Trish and Trishelle because we attended the same church. And Trish was a minister, and she was over the youth, and I was a youth at that time. I was a youth that was not out yet.
Right.
And Trishelle was like little when I first interacted with her. So we're gonna talk about like we don't have to go like deep into like what church or whatever,
Yeah.
but just like our experiences and kind of like going into like with Trishelle like are you in the life? How do you identify? And if you identify, how did you feel during that time of being inside of the church and your mom in leadership?
So I don't know who want to take the lead. I don't know, Trisha, if you want to just give some background and and then Trisha, if you want to just what I'm saying, tell your experiences. But Trisha,
Okay.
you can go ahead.
So, as Shai said, at the church, I was a minister with the youth, and at that time, the youth, meant a lot to me. The title really didn't matter because, titles really don't make a difference. It's what's in your heart. So
Yes.
working with the youth, and as far as like LGBTQ, in the church, you already know what is preached across the pulpit. So of course, if we thought someone was in that lifestyle, of course pray it away or just refrain from that. But yeah, so I don't know.
For me, I guess when I was at that age, because we went to church basically every Sunday, so it was definitely a part of my life. Like I thought it was a normal thing, and when I like had the feelings or the attractions to like my female classmates, I thought it was very normal because I had the same feelings for like the boy classmates. Like it wasn't anything crazy, and I would do the exploring. I would do the exploring kid stuff. I had a crush on my really like on my best friend, and she was a girl, and Jordan. Do you remember her? Yeah, I had a crush on her.
You ain't had to put Jordan out there like that. Like, no, I'm messing with you. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's
Yeah.
cool.
That's
No
wild, you're
biggie.
so right.
It's so many Jordans. Nobody
Yeah,
knows.
nobody
No,
knows.
but I totally forgot about like. Probably shouldn't say names, right?
It's cool. You can just, you know what I'm saying, switch it up a little bit. Maybe call her.
Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jay.
Shout out Jordan.
No
Right now.
way.
Okay.
This one.
You're so right though. But yeah, I thought it was just a normal thing, and I don't even know when I started taking my attraction to girls seriously. Like I don't even know at what age. I don't think it was when we lived in Baltimore still. I feel like it's when we moved to PA when I like realized I wanted, because I would always like, daydream, I guess, that, or not even daydream, just like see a girl that I was attracted to, and I'd be like, if I was a dude, I would date her. Or if I was a boy, I would be with her. And I don't know when it switched. It's like, no, I can be a girl and I can date a girl. I don't know when that happened, but I feel like it was more in my teenage years.
Definitely. And tell me your age one more time.
I'm 18.
18. Wow. Dad, cuz remember when we was 18?
Whew. I was not out at 18.
Those were some, I don't know, some wild times.
I was not out, but I was talking to girls at 18.
Okay.
And I was actually in church really, really heavy. Like I was doing like the poetry ministry, and I was, I was like really religious. I'm gonna say that. And that's why this title of the episode is spirituality, because a lot of times people put you in a box, or you learn the religious way to walk, talk, act, and be, and you don't really learn like the relationship aspect of things
Right.
when it comes to church and religion and spirituality. For me, I I don't like to feel like I'm in a box at all. Like I don't like to feel restricted. I like to feel free. And my religion at 18 is now spirituality at 33. And a big part of that was when I came out.
And you identified as Christian at 18.
Christian, yes,
Right.
Christian.
Right. Just for clarification.
For clarification, yes, Christian. I loved God. I still love God. I still feel like I honor God in my daily living. But when I came out, it was just like this big thing that oh my God, she's out and she's this and she's that. And it's just like, I showed signs for many, many years. A lot of people just like swept it under the rug,
Right.
or they were like, oh, she's more dominant. We're going to put her in the dress. We're going to put her in the skirt. And don't get me wrong, I look good in a dress and in a skirt and with my pumps and stuff like that. But it wasn't organically me.
Right.
And even now, like I'll hoochie daddy it and everything, and crop top it, because I'm free in who I am, and I'm not in this box.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just like a breaking point. It was a breaking point where I was like, I cannot live in this box anymore. And if God is gonna hate me, I'd rather him hate me in the sense where I'm myself, as opposed to something that I'm pretending to be.
That's so
Yeah. I think for me, and we both come from parents that had leadership titles very
Yes.
similar to you, Trishelle, in the church. So growing up and having, my mom being a pastor and having, her being very astute in the word and just, staunchly like pouring that into me from since I was born.
Since you were
it's
born,
just,
yeah.
for me, when I started feeling those feelings of being attracted to the same sex at 5, 6, very much so early on.
Yes.
It just was like, for a long time, I could say probably from maybe I guess when I really started understanding that I like girls like that, like 8 to 15, 16, it was like this fear that I lived with every day because I knew who my mother was in the church. I did not want to disrespect her ministry. I did not want to disrespect her title. I did not want to disrespect how she raised me. But I had to live as my true authentic self. And you know, it kind of like was a period of, evolution, a period of, understanding that like I can't live in the closet for the rest of my life, especially when I started dressing masculine.
Absolutely.
So it's like after a while you can't hide it. You know what I'm saying? So Trishelle, I mean, do you kind of feel aligned with that, or have you ever felt like that fear? I know with your mom being, who she was in the word and in God and in the church, did you deal with that struggle as well?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And I actually have a question for you. When you were in that like developmental evolution stage, like 8 to 15, and you realized you liked girls, but you didn't want to disrespect your mom.
Yeah,
Did you say to yourself, "All right, I'm just gonna for the rest of my life, I'm just gonna pretend like I
definitely.
don't."
At one time, I recall very vividly attempting to like pray the gay away.
Me, no, me too. Like
Yeah.
but it was over here in PA. I was
We're in
talking with my
Maryland.
grandmother.
We're in Maryland, but it's okay.
Oh my God, yes, we
Yeah,
are.
yeah, we
When
are.
we lived when where I live in PA,
Right.
I was having this conversation with my grandmother. She's Jamaican, and
Oh, yeah.
it's on my dad's side. I never told her I wasn't out to anyone, not even my parents at this point. We were talking, and I was like, I don't know how it came up, but if they hear gay, they're gonna go ahead and say it's not good right away. So the conversation it came up, and I was like, well, what if someone, because I wasn't out, so I was like, so what if someone is gay? Like, what could they do? Like, how would? Because she was saying gay people, they go to hell. They're unforgiven. She's like, it's the worst sin ever. So I was like, well, if someone is gay, how would they like still become like, how would they still go to heaven? How can they do that? And she was like, well, you have to pray. You can't live that way. You have to like saying all the very,
Yeah.
you guys probably have been through it. And so I was like, I don't know how, but she ended up praying for me. She was like, Lord, her prayer saying basically praying the gay way.
Yeah.
And it's wild that you say that, because I when she was praying, I was sobbing, like I was crying, like I was scared. I was fearful of going to hell. I wasn't scared of living gay or like liking girls. I was scared of going to hell.
Definitely.
Like that was the biggest thing in my head.
And this is on your dad. This is like your paternal grandmother.
Yeah.
So on one end, you're dealing with your mom being in the, in the church and being this woman of God. And then on your paternal side, you have, a cultural like dislike of that lifestyle and just complete like, not being accepting of it.
it's true.
So man, I can't imagine that from both sides. I'm sure you were.
That's why I was trying to like say, you know what, I'm just gonna do it with boys. I'm not do it, but like I'm just gonna stick with boys. Like I'm not gonna
try
not
to,
gonna,
like
try
you
with
would
a girl.
force yourself to be somebody that you're not, just so that you can
everybody's
please.
happy.
For the longest time, and I was like, I was like, this is okay enough for me. I was like, I'm okay with just staying single until I find a dude that would like me, because I was very masculine. Like when I started dressing myself, because they would dress me when I was younger, and they put me in dresses, tights, disgusting stuff.
She hated it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't know why, but now I know.
And just a quick, this is a real podcast where real things happen. Cause your phone rang, the mic dropped. Don't judge us. Judge your mother, okay?
Okay.
It's like no,
This
but
is a no
seriously,
judgment
this is
zone.
I mean, things happen, and we rolling along with it. And I just wanted to point that out because I know some people might be in the comments like, "Oh, her phone rang, the mic fell." Who gives a fuck? Okay.
Okay.
We're pushing through.
Exactly.
All right, but back to the combo. So Trish, just hearing your daughter like, express that. I mean, and I'm sure it took you a while to probably come out to your mom and your family and deal with that. But like, did you kind of like see that early in her? Like, did you notice anything? Like,
I had no idea.
Wow.
The only thing I could say is that I think Trisha was in like maybe second grade or some grade. It was elementary school. And she told me that she kissed a girl. And I got so mad at her and I blamed the girl. Like, why would she make you kiss her?
Wow.
Wow.
So it was straight denial.
And
that-
deflection.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the only time. And I told, no, and there was another time that in her YouTube history, there were videos with studs and what is a stud. And I'm like, why are you watching this? Don't you ever watch this again.
Wow.
And it was just those two instances. And she's like, all right, I won't watch it. And I never saw it again. So I thought it was gone. But I never, ever thought she was gay until 15, 16 when she told me. And younger, if she would have told me when she was younger, I would have prayed it away, beat it away, anything, because that's just not acceptable, you know, in the church and blah, blah, blah. But once I left the church, I took some like child development classes in college. I went back to school for like social work. I didn't finish, but it's besides the point. And I just learned how kids develop and just listen to them, let them ask questions. And I was in that headspace when she told me, so I was so accepting. I was like, okay, all right, what's for dinner?
Literally though, like
Wow. That's
Because
amazing.
I read about, you know, kids coming out to parents and the impact it has. Just, you know, everyone's just human. We're all the same, like, you know. And so I just wanted her to understand that I'm okay with it. Like, you do not have to feel bad. You know, what's for dinner? Just keep it moving.
Wow.
Moving. Like this is the norm almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what age was that?
it was recent. It was like near COVID, near or after.
Yeah,
COVID?
so she was like 16.
I was
15,
older.
and I remember the night because we were coming from Yaya, our
remember
cousin's house, and it was Pride Month, and someone had the flag out, and she was like, "Oh, look at the flag." I was like, "Oh my God, that is so cool." And then we get home, and then she comes out. So I think that moment where she saw me say, "Oh, that's so cool,"
They made her feel comfortable.
yeah.
Yeah.
And as soon as we got home, boom.
But like I don't know. I remember I was sitting in the chair and I didn't even make eye contact. I was just like, I'm gay.
No, she said she was bi.
Like,
Okay. She was taking the easy way out. I was like, in my head, I was like, nah, she gay, but okay.
Right.
Okay. Whatever.
Right. It's always when you first kind of like try to creep out of the closet, you kind of like spin it like, but I still like boys too. Just to see. You know, you try to see like how people gonna respond, but you know you don't like no boys.
Right.
You feel me? Like, so I did that too.
That is crazy.
Definitely did that too.
Wow.
So I definitely get that. But I mean, it's crazy how like once you come out to your mom and you have those conversations with the people that you love, it's so easy to to be free and live life around everybody now. Now it's like you don't. I mean, did you experience that? Like now, you could just be yourself in front of everybody.
Definitely, especially with more, I guess, my generation, I guess. Even if people aren't accepting, who cares? Like, everyone knows that this is the norm now.
Right.
Like, you shouldn't really, if you have a problem with it, just keep it to yourself. Some people are very still open with their opinions, which is so unfair. But, yeah. I forgot what I was going to say.
No, that's cool. So I did want to ask about like your paternal side. How did they respond?
Man, my dad, I did come out to him, and he was going off. He was like, not in a bad way, but he was just, I guess he was trying to make it better for him in his mind. So he was just going like, he was like, you know, I guess, he's like, I don't mind if you find women attractive. Like, I find women attractive. It's okay if you find women attractive. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, everyone finds women attractive.
Just don't act on it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he didn't get to that point, but he was just like, yeah, it's totally fine if you are attracted to women. That's fine. But actually, before he said all of that, when I first got it out, because we were in the kitchen, and he's Jamaican. I know he says he's not homophobic, but he still says those homophobic type things. It's like, well, what if I tell him that like I'm that way too? So I told him I was like, I'm bisexual, and he was like, first words, he was like, well, we're gonna have to fix that. And I was
Wow. Wow.
And then he went off on a, like, I don't mind if you find women attractive, but he never accepted the fact that I would want to be with a girl. 'Cause I did say that. I was like, well, I would want to be with one too, and he was like, it's okay if you find them attractive. Like, he was not accepting it at all. So I like, he knows, he has to know that I'm a lesbian. Like, there's really no
Yeah.
hiding it anymore.
Right, right.
I guess once I get to the point where I'm dating a girl, that's when he's gonna have to come head to toe with it. But until then, I think he's satisfied in his own mind. But my grandmother, I have my grandmother on my dad's side, I have not told her anything yet. I'm sure she'll figure it out for
Yeah.
herself.
You said something great, which was him satisfying it in his own mind. And I think for a lot of parents, a lot of, because we're talking about spirituality and stuff, like churches, like they will satisfy whatever you are in their own mind, and they will create this image of who you are in their mind. So it's like I don't attend church a lot, but when I do, it's still somewhat uncomfortable, and I'm years out, and it's people that have known me since I was little, and it's like why do you have this image of who I am or what I do because of who I sleep with in the bedroom? Because essentially, when I get out of that bedroom, I'm a woman, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm an employee, I'm a podcaster now, but why do you create this image for me? And a lot of people don't know, like, I walk by the spirit a lot. My cousin and I, when we started this podcast 3 weeks ago, we were talking after the first episode, and I was like, I fast the day of the podcast. That's my preparation. And the reason I fast is because I want to show God. I want to show his love. I want to show his kindness. I want to show his grace on here. Do we cuss? Yes, we cuss. But it's people in the church that cuss. Do we drink? Yes, we drink. But that doesn't define who I am as a person. My sexuality is a very minute amount of who I am. I'm a giver. I'm a lover. And not just on the sexual tip, but just I'm a lover. I have a great heart, and someone could like do something wrong to me. I'm always thinking of ways to love on that person, and that is a trait of God. Like, so I'm not saying I'm God. I want y'all to know that I am not God. I am far from perfect, but I want to reflect his love and who he is in my life. So that's where my spirit comes in. I have a big spirit, and that Baltimore spirit. So I wonder, like, I would love to, in the comments when you guys watch this, why is it that you create this image of what a person is because of who they lay down with? And have you had that experience, Gentle, where people create something that...
I mean, I don't know. Like, I probably, you know what I'm saying? But I honestly, and I'm going to say this as candid as I know how, because that's just who I am.
Fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
Don't
I
fuck.
do not. I absolutely do not care what people think about me, what they say about me. I was brought up in the church as well. And the only thing that's keeping me going on a day-to-day basis is the Lord. And you know what I'm saying, my spirituality, my walk with God. And I was brought up in an environment where there was a lot of ideas or this religious doctrine of
Yes.
you a woman, you can't be with another woman, you have to be with a man, and that's the worst sin and it's an abomination and all of that other stuff. And I think, and I'm sure you can, y'all can both us three being in the life, we can all attest to, you kind of being in the life of and being on the LGBTQ spectrum, you just kind of gain this confidence after coming out. You gain this aura of like being your authentic self at all times. You gain this like, just this aspect of how you look at things, and you just like, I can't care about what people think because you just get judged so often. So I mean, you just build up like a shell almost. Like I don't know. So to answer the question, I don't care. But yeah, and a lot of the spirituality and the lessons that were taught to me, I still carry it with me today, just like you saying, fasting, praying. I pray every day, a few times. You know what I'm saying? Me and my girl pray together. Man, you know what I'm saying? We pray over our kids, and people probably be like, oh, well, y'all two lesbians. How can y'all even, and I'm sure some people in the church would be, have that idea. But yeah, we pray. We have a relationship with God just like anybody else. So, I mean, it's crazy to think that when people are in the LGBTQ spectrum, that they don't have a relationship with God, or they can't have a relationship with God. But you can't let anybody define that for you. And I know, Trish, by you being in the church and holding those titles, and I mean, I guess, what are some of the just like stigmas that you've seen in the church setting that I don't know, that you completely, and having a daughter that's LGBTQ, like the things that you've seen that kind of turn people off, make people not want to come to the church, or and how do you kind of like bring people back and try to embrace them and not let that deter them to having a relationship with God?
So I'm not currently involved in church.
Okay.
But previously it would just come as you are, and there would be people at the church who were delivered from being gay, but deep down inside, that's just who you are. So it's like you can't really like, it can't just, I don't know what to say, but what I do want to say is that, like, Trishelle knew from she was little, right? But as a mom, I didn't want to accept it. I was in denial. I told her, you can't do that. But that's who that person is on the inside. And it just takes maturity, because where I am now, like, even learning about you guys through the podcast, like looking at you guys of like, oh, I would think that, they're not girly girls. But listening, it's like, but they are.
Definitely.
Yes. But, but because you don't look that part, once you tell me who you are, that's up to me to accept it. And everyone's not at that level, like maturity wise. And it's just like, they're going to stay in that box and they're going to keep you guys there. And it's just like, we have to get over that hump and just accept people for who they are and just keep it moving, because at the end of the day, the mortgage is still due. The rent is, like, everybody's going through something. Everyone's struggling through something. And I can attest, like, I am a straight woman, and watching lesbians kiss on the screen has never deterred me or changed me to become gay. So how is a gay child watching a straight couple, that doesn't change them to be straight either. So it's just like, just let people be who they are, and you're not going to infect me. I'm not going to infect you being straight. You're not going to make me,
There's no such thing as a gay agenda.
It's horrible. It's the world is just, it's just a horrible place right now. And I just wish that we could just all be accepting and, just be mature and just leave people alone.
Yeah. And the church, I think the sad part too is like, the church is always preaching love your neighbor like you love yourself, and Jesus loves, Jesus saves, but then it's like, except for the gay people,
right?
And what really just burns me up is like the adulterers, the murderers, the child molesters. Those people are still accepted. You know what I'm saying? But because somebody consensually has sex with the same sex, it's like
It's
you're an
unforgivable.
abomination. You're gonna hell. Like
I was literally talking with my coworker today about that. Like, I don't get how living gay is a sin if you can be a murderer and ask for forgiveness and you're good. Like, you can do any sin basically and God will forgive you if you ask for forgiveness. So if you're gay and you ask for forgiveness, then technically it's forgiven because every sin is forgiven.
right.
I also don't agree with the fact that Christians are because I'm not a Christian. Do you guys identify as Christian?
I do.
Still,
Mm-hmm.
okay, right on, right on. I personally don't because I tie Christianity with the church, and I don't really see the church as what's it called, accepting.
Okay.
But I don't see how we can, us as like followers of God, judge other people for their sins when it's not really our place. It's not our
That's
place
right.
to judge at all.
That's right.
So I don't like that. When people when you have homophobic people and they say they blame they defend their homophobia on the Bible, like that's you don't see the hypocrisy, like that's not you
And-
can't do that.
But historically, they use the Bible to defend slavery.
Exactly.
So, and as a gay black woman, like you're using the same thing that enslaved my ancestors, because I was never a slave, but my ancestors were, to tell me that I'm wrong. Like that makes no sense to me.
And then the Bible has so many different layers and the time periods.
Exactly.
66 books in the Bible, right? So, and we only speaking about Christianity, and I think that's very much because we all have been in
The
that
experience,
religion or that
yeah.
spiritual. Because I mean, there's
That's
a
hundreds
whole lot
of-
of different
yeah,
religions that do not agree with
Yeah.
same-sex relationships. We just kind of focusing on this, but in the Old Testament it's like a sin to eat meat on Friday.
Exactly.
And then like
So we just forget about that.
That's
I mean,
And then my friend, he's Muslim and he studies the Bible heavily. He said he doesn't work on Saturdays because that's the day you're not
That's the
supposed to
Sabbath.
work.
Right.
But everyone works Saturdays. Sunday is the Lord's day. It doesn't say that. If we're going by the Bible, it's Saturdays that you don't go out, you don't drink or whatever. Like
Right.
that's the Lord's day.
Yeah.
Everyone continues to do it on Sunday because that's what man has deemed normal. Like we amplify certain things
Yes.
and we hush certain things to
Yes.
make it to accommodate to us. Like
Yep.
even in the I think it's the Quran. What religion services?
Muslim.
Muslim. Okay, yeah, Muslim.
Islam.
They it's the same. It was the Bible first, and then it was the Quran. And the Muslims, they should follow the Bible, but they follow the Quran because the Quran accommodates men a lot more, because it says that you can have a wife, but you can have as many wives as you want. You can have a wife and you can still sleep with whoever you want. It helps the man more. And then with the women, they can't show skin, stuff like that. Like it just makes the man this power figure, and then it holds the women down, and it's not fair at all. But they choose that because that's how they want to live their life. And it's so bad that men, then you have white men, they choose the way they want to live and everyone else just follows that. And if you don't follow that, then you're a sinner. Like how can like, but back when we had slavery and you had the white man who was the power figure and the white woman who was just, they were still accepted. How can a white man say that you don't belong because you're black? Like you went to their land and you took them and then you didn't accept them because it doesn't make sense, but we go by what they say because they have the power for some reason. It's
I love y'all generation because I feel like because you Generation Z, right? Is it
yeah,
Z?
Gen Z, yeah.
Yeah, Gen Z. Like I mean, we millennials, so I think we can. You probably like what, Gen X?
I'm still with y'all.
Oh, my bad.
1 year. Gentle thinks
Sorry.
I'm ancient.
My bad.
I'm only 41. I'll be 42.
All right,
in
respect. Millennials and Gen Z in the building.
Yes.
But I think millennials, we kind of came along and started questioning all of these things, religion, politics, and all that. But Gen Z, y'all lighting it up.
They-
I
they
love it.
literally be like, man, fuck this shit. Like,
Yeah, they not taking no
no,
oppression, no,
yeah,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying, no bullshit. Like they questioning everything.
everything.
And I love it because you know what I'm saying, like that's change is incremental.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So your generation, our generation, we started changing, even with the mindset of like, and this is on another topic, but like how people look at work and working 40 hours a week and all that. Like that was cool with the baby
The
boomers,
baby boomers,
but
yeah.
millennials like, nah, we trying to take these vacations.
Right.
Gen Z, like we gonna get on YouTube and we
Right,
gonna
right,
make,
right,
you know what I'm saying? So
right,
I
right,
love
right.
like, you know what I'm saying, seeing that evolution through the generations, and it also correlates with, you know, the topics that we're talking about on this podcast. Just, you know, looking at things in a different way. And we're not here to judge nobody, no religion, no, you know what I'm saying,
This is a
pastor,
non-judgment
you know what
zone.
I'm saying, leadership in the church, none of that. But we are picking apart, like, you know what I'm saying, discrimination and bias and things that just are downright wrong. And I mean, they occur every day, and it's okay to talk about it and peel back the layers and you know what I'm saying,
And the
discuss
thing
this stuff.
is, we started this podcast because we wanted to have these conversations. We started this podcast because for us it's purpose. It's definitely
Purpose
purpose.
work.
And we want people to be enlightened. We want to educate. We want to bring wisdom. So I'm we are not bashing anything because we grew up in a doctrine. Gentle grew up in a scenario where her mom was, you know, a great figure for both of us, but she was in the household with her mom. Whereas though for me, I was, I am a PK also. My father's a bishop.
And PKs, we always like the bad ones,
Yeah,
just
we
to
are.
point that
Yeah,
out.
I was
But go
bad
ahead.
shit. So, for me, my father and our relationship, even now, we don't really have a great relationship. And his influence in my life was not the same influence that Gentle's was. But I always say this: it's not what's on you, it's what's in you. And his spiritual gifts and our spiritual inheritance, Gentle and I can have a conversation. We could be like, oh my God. Like, I cannot believe the revelation that we got through this conversation because it wasn't it like his influence definitely helped me, you know, throughout my life, even without him not being there. Shout out to my dad. Don't even have to say your name. Love you. I respect you and I honor you because you are my dad. No matter what. So, you know, we have these conversations and we just want people to be enlightened, and it's definitely purpose work for us, you know. Definitely.
Yeah, and just piggybacking off of, you know, us talking about like parents that are in the church and have these leadership roles. I wonder, Trish, have you ever had to like defend your daughter's sexuality to anybody, not even just like within the church, but like anybody in your life who might have thought differently, even if it was, you know, her paternal side or whatever? Like, how, did that ever happen? And, you know, how did you deal with that?
I have not had to defend it, but when she told me about the incident with, it wasn't an incident, but when her grandmother was trying to pray the gay away, I didn't know at the time that Trishelle was gay, but I told Trishelle, like, no, that's no. It's okay. Even
Right.
if somebody, they're not going to go to hell. They're not, you know, and I felt so bad because maybe I had an inkling then because it's like, well, Trishelle might be. So after hearing all that from her grandmother, it's just like, but I never went to her grandmother and said anything. Maybe I said something to your dad, like, tell her not to, you know, say that to Trishelle or something, because I just imagine how horrible she felt. But not no, family's good. And we were out of the church once she came out. So I didn't have to, you know, defend her in that, but I would have, you
Yeah.
know. So
Yeah. Like even with her dad, like was that ever a conversation? Like did he ever come to you and was like, nah?
So we're divorced, and so we were separated at that time, and I've never had the conversation with him. One, because once he said we have to fix it. I was like, but then I also know that in Jamaica, I know how that how that is
culture.
not.
Yeah.
It's against
Yeah,
the law.
law,
Like, it's
yeah.
in the
Like
law.
people get
Yeah.
killed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
And you go to
literally.
jail.
Yeah.
Like the prime minister has been on a press conference and said, we do not support that in Jamaica. We do not accept that in Jamaica. You cannot be that way in Jamaica. But there has been some change, and there has been Pride Month in Jamaica.
Right.
Just certain parts. And even like the musicians, I had to unfollow one that I really, really loved because there was some ad in Jamaica about LGBTQ, and he just went off. And I was like, no, you're ridiculous. And there's a artist, Coffee, and I love her. I'm going to see her on Sunday, a reggae artist, and she's about 23 now, and she's a lesbian. And Jamaicans are like just ridiculous. Wow. It's so sad, and I'm like I hope she doesn't stop doing music. The reaction that she's getting.
Yeah.
Wow.
How blessed we are to be able to live in a country, of course, America has,
Yeah.
Has their own
it's bad,
issues, yeah.
it's bad points in history, but blessed to be able to be who you are, you know what I'm saying, express who you are, and not have like laws that try to stop you from just being.
Existing, exactly.
Yeah, like they're literally killing people over there, throwing them in jail. Like, somebody probably could even, I'm just thinking about like, how do you investigate somebody, same sex being a crime? Like,
Right.
I guess is that word of mouth? Like somebody say, oh, I think he did something gay or she did something gay. Now you in jail. Like
Yeah.
that. It's just crazy. And
Not
of course,
only that,
because we from here, but
masculine centered women that are in Jamaica, like you can legally rape them and it is okay. Like any woman.
Yep.
But
I didn't know that.
you can legally rape them and it is okay. Like it is not a crime.
Yeah.
So
Could you imagine that? You're talking just regular women or gay women?
gay women.
Gay women.
Are you
Gay
serious?
women. Yeah. You
I
can
didn't.
rape them and it is not against
That's
the law
not
to
cool
rape
at
them.
all.
Yeah.
And
It's a violation.
it's
Yes.
like you know what I'm saying. I'm just wondering, just from your looking through your eyes, us with us having this conversation, it's like I'm sure you want to like go back to like Jamaica and like enjoy the culture, like because you're a part of it. It's a part of you. But then you like
I hear this kind of stuff.
you got to be fearful.
Yeah.
How could I feel safe? Exactly.
You're at like two parts of who you are as a person literally are at war based on like other people's mindsets.
Yeah.
That's so hard.
It's
So
crazy.
true. I've never even thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
man,
I don't.
that's heavy.
That's wild. I don't see how a whole country can get behind a law like that.
And Jamaica's not the only country.
No, it's a lot of
rape women.
Well, I don't know about that one, but
Yeah.
it's not accepted in a lot of countries.
yeah, like some African countries as well.
And Dubai, right?
Yeah, Dubai. Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like
You want to know why? Because it's probably 100% that these countries they're making their laws off of religion, and I don't. It's the first rule when you go into politics is you separate law from religion.
Yeah.
I don't, and then because you know why religion is so extreme, you can't live the way of the Bible. Like you really can't. It's
not
a very
possible.
you give exactly. It's not possible. You give your life to the Bible, then you're servant to nobody but yourself, and that's not a good way to live. But when you have these laws that accommodate the Bible, then you get extreme stuff like this where women don't have say over who touches their body,
Right.
and then when they go to get justice to the people they're supposed to get justice from, it's okay.
And it's
there's
always-
nothing you can do about it.
it's always women being oppressed. And we talk about intersectionality a lot here. We don't just identify as people that's in the LGBTQ community. We identify as Black. We identify as women.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like so many different parts of yourself
Yes.
that you gotta really like I said, just kind of like embrace who you are and not necessarily care about who else embrace you, because if you do that, you're literally setting yourself up for failure. That's why I do not live my life thinking about how other people view me, because if I did that, I would go crazy. I would be depressed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For real. So we just gotta be ourselves, y'all, and accept other people, love on other people. You know what I'm saying? Killing each other and doing crazy stuff and, attacking people and, because of their thoughts, their beliefs. I don't care what it is. It could be abortion. It could be LGBTQ. It could be whatever. Like, it's not cool. Like, everybody has a right to think freely and be who they are.
Yeah.
And if they're not hurting anyone, simple, like, just let people be. You might not agree, but just keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man.
Absolutely.
The world will be a much better place.
Yeah, definitely. But
freedom is definitely a word that I definitely hold on to. And I don't try to live my life, but I can honestly say I live my life. My cousin and I have a lot of conversations, and our conversations have shifted in the last few months about, freedom and, just living, not just existing, but living. And for that, I just want to say I appreciate you guys for coming on here and for showing that after all that you guys have to go through, after every experience, you just said that you are divorced. You had to live after that. Your children had to live after that. You coming out, that's life. You losing your mom, that's life.
Yeah.
And if it's one thing that we want to promote today is don't just exist. Live, live well, live wealthy, live richly, and riches is not just money. Richness is so much deeper than that. Live. I feel like my father is coming on. But anything you have to say?
No, I just want to piggyback off of that, and I just appreciate y'all relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because you very blessed. Y'all very blessed to have each other. That's number one. And I respect the mother-daughter relationship so much now that my mom is gone. My mother was my best friend. So, just embrace each other. I'm so grateful, just being somebody is just like you and dealt with the things that you dealt with, that you have your mom and your mom is supporting you, just like my mother did. Because everybody doesn't have that. Some people's parents throw them out the house and they don't ever talk to them again. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? We just so blessed. And I'm proud of you for living your true authentic self.
Yes.
At your age, man, like I probably wasn't as half well-spoken as you are, and eloquent and motivated and doing the damn thing. So it's great to talk to you, and we appreciate y'all coming on here. Anything y'all want to add before we get up out of here?
We just want to thank you, and our relationship has not always been like this. So we too are grateful, and that's what we talk about on our podcast. It's like we've come a long way as well, but we really appreciate you guys for having us. And I'm so glad you came because you stole the show. I didn't know what to say. You did the damn thing. Dude, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. What you said about living and not just existing, I've definitely been contemplating through these recent months if I've been living or just existing, and you said it like perfectly, bro. Because like me coming here, right? No way. Me coming here, I was like, I told my mom actually, I was like,
it's okay.
It's okay.
I told her, I was like, yeah, I'll go to the podcast. I was like, I'll go there because I'm alive. Like, I was telling myself that. I was like, I'll go because I'm alive. Like, I'm going to do it because I'm alive. Because I'm just so, trauma bonded to my room, and I'm trying to get better. And this was, like, that first step, and so I'm really happy.
Oof. Man, we proud of you for being here because, listen, mental health is a real thing. And when you live the life that we live and you know what I'm saying, you show up differently from the majority of people, it's not easy. I've been where you at.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. In recent months, been where you at, and you just keep going. You're doing phenomenal.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
Exactly. And people would say this is not possible because it's LGBTQI. She's getting deliverance.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. This is purpose work.
Yeah. Man, this was probably the most powerful episode we
Your
done
mom
had
is
so far.
definitely here.
Yeah.
Listen.
That's what I was.
Yeah.
I knew that she was gonna be here.
Yeah.
When you told me that this
Yeah.
was for her,
Yeah.
you how much you supported her and stuff like that. I was like, she's gonna have to. There's no way
She's gonna
not
show
here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all gonna make me cry. We gotta get up out of here. Listen.
We gotta go.
I haven't cried in so long. This is like my first,
Trishelle does not cry.
this is my first time crying, and I've been trying to cry because I've been feeling.
Yeah.
Those 2 months is how I'm feeling right now, and I've
Yeah.
been trying to let it out. This is why.
And you don't know, you motivated me because I literally, like what I said earlier about just wanting to lay in the bed, especially with the weather and all of this, like depression will set in and it will make you sit still and not want to do
That's
anything.
why I was so proud of you when you said you got out the house.
Yeah.
But I didn't say anything, but I was very.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We gotta just keep pushing, y'all.
Yeah,
And it don't matter who you are. Keep pushing. This
Keep
right now. If you watching this right now, keep
pushing.
going.
Yes.
Keep going. It's purpose in your life. You are here to contribute something. That's why you are here on this earth. Don't let nobody tell you different. Keep going, man. Keep going. We gotta all keep going.
A few months ago, prior to your mom passing, about a month before your mom passed, we went and got tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the tattoos that you got are on your wrist.
Yep.
And it's keep going.
Yep.
And then I got the semicolon because I'm a suicide survivor. And
I am as well.
yeah. And
I got
so,
a semicolon too.
Yeah.
A few years back.
And when we were at the hospital with your mom, and you said, I just kept looking down, saying, keep going,
Yeah.
keep going, keep going. I don't even know how we supposed to end it,
Yeah.
but just tune in and keep going.
Keep going,
keep
y'all.
going, keep going.
Keep going. And please shout out y'all podcast and where people can follow y'all so they could just tune more into y'all and you know what I'm saying, follow y'all.
So we just started the Withholding Nothing podcast where Trishelle and I go into our past relationship and how we have come to this space where we can be open with each other. We love each other. I've always loved her, but she, the feeling wasn't mutual at one point, and that's okay. So you can find us at Withholding Nothing, the podcast, wherever you find your podcast. And on Instagram, we're Withholding Nothing 42.
Okay. Cool. And do y'all want to give out y'all personal socials or just?
I deleted also.
Okay.
I'm Random Nobody, and that's nobody with a K, on Instagram.
Love that. Love that play on words. But yeah, man, follow them. Phenomenal people. This has been probably the best episode we done had.
Yes.
And man, keep tuning in, y'all. And with that being said, we out.
We out.
We out.